Hello, good day. Here I will present my thesis result with the title Analysis Function of the Logistic Management on Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Stock Procurement with a case study of my Hoven Cafe Malang. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is amrithasuko and I'm one of the master degree of Magister Management student at STAIAU Surabaya. This is my table of content and I will start with the introduction to understand the background of the study. According to the National Coffee Organization, FITRI 2021, Indonesia is the world's fourth largest coffee producer and exporter after Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia. In recent years, coffee has increased in popularity fueled by the rise of the coffee culture and the changing consumption pattern of the younger generation. More than 70% of the coffee grown in Indonesia is the Robusta variety. The increase in domestic consumption can be attributed to coffee culture taking root, especially among the younger urban dwellers. With the increased affluence and exposure to international consumption trend, the younger Indonesians have embraced the fourth wave of coffee cultures. With a Muslim majority population, coffee shops become the go-to hangout spot instead of the bars. In the past few years, local coffee chains have overtaken global brands in terms of market presence. Southeast potential business, so in Indonesia there are a lot of micro, small, and medium enterprises in this coffee area. The Ministry of Cooperative and Small and Medium Enterprises, or Kemenko PUKM, note that there will be 64.2 million micro and small medium enterprises unit in Indonesia in 2021. Micro business with a maximum turnover criteria of 2 billion rupiah per year are the most dominant in the MSMI structure. Micro business will reach 63.955.369 unit in 2021 or contribute 99.62% of the total business unit in Indonesia. To maintain the micro business that cover the most MSMI structure in Indonesia, and for maintaining the growth quality of the coffee shop in Indonesia, it is important for every coffee shop owner to know the right logistic management system to maintain the quantity and the quality of the goods traded. To achieve this, it is important for every coffee shop owner to have a good procurement system. Procurement logistics describe about the flow of goods when the raw materials and parts necessary for manufacturing are procured from the suppliers. As one of the coffee shops in Malang, my Hoven Cafe also expected to be able to apply this knowledge in order to improve the service and process that being carried out. And the current situation of my Hoven Cafe, it is one of the micro enterprises that neither realize nor understand the function of logistic management. And here is the problem statement. The study objective about this case is to understand how the logistic management in my Hoven Cafe stock procurement, to understand what is the function of logistic management implementation in my Hoven Cafe stock procurement, and to analyze the logistic management function in my Hoven Cafe stock procurement. The limitation of the study first is the duration, with the stock procurement process that been analyzed based on logistic process during June 2023 until August 2023. Second, the object. The analysis process focused on how my Hoven Cafe do the logistic management function on their stock procurement. And the analysis method that been used is SWOT analysis. And the limit of MSMIs is the cycle of business enterprises based on micro enterprises only, with the specifically studied case at my Hoven Cafe. And the type of logistic management discussed is procurement logistic, procuring raw materials, and the part. For the literature review, there's the previous research I used from the Liu et al., Pars and Spillan, Fang Su, Lestari and Hexama, and Fitri et al. When all of them is talking about the same object discussed as me, that's logistic or supply chain management. The literature review about the definition will include logistic management, stock procurement, and micro, small, and medium enterprises. I will start with the logistic management. Logistic itself is the management of the flow of goods from a point of origin which ends at the point of consumption to fulfill certain requests, both from physical object as well as intangible or abstract object. When the management is the art of a science of planning, organizing, preparing, directing, supervising human resources to achieve its goal and has been set beforehand. So the logistic management is the strategic management process for the transfer and storage of goods, spare part, finished goods from supplier to customers. According to Prihantono 2012, there were some functions of the logistic management that become one whole process, start from First, planning function meeting need. Second, the budgeting function. Third, the procurement function. Fourth, storage and distribution. Fifth, maintenance function. And number 6, eliminating function. That it will become the base for this research. For the type of the logistic management is recycling logistic, recovery logistic, production logistic, sales logistic. But the one that been discussed in this thesis is procurement logistic, about procuring raw materials and parts. Then, what about the stock procurement? According to Robinhood 2023, stock procurement form can be divided into raw materials, this product in their natural form and come from the primary sectors, which may be sourced, purchased, and supplied, then stored for the future use. Second is the component, when the manufacturers buy the secondary sector from raw materials and are used to create the finished goods. Finished good is sold by a retail store to sell to the customers. And the type of the stock procurement in this paper discussed is raw materials, not tracking neither the component of the coffee shop nor the finished goods from the deposit item, especially for the beverage raw materials sold. MSMI. MSMI stand for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Broadly speaking, MSMIs are productive business that are owned either individually or by business entities that have met the criteria as micro enterprises. The micro business itself are the most dominant in the MSMI structures. Small business are productive business owned by Indonesian citizens, which are in the entities, unincorporated business entities, or legal entity business entities, such as cooperative, is not a subsidiary or branch owned, control, or affiliate either directly or indirectly with a medium or large business. So, the micro enterprises have a characteristic. Ineffective financial management, generally still mixed with the personal finance, with the maximum sales revenue per year is 3,000 million rupiahs, with the business asset owned at most of 50 million rupiahs, excluding asset in the form of land and building, and the human resource less than 4 people. On the chapter 3 is methodology of research. My object study is My Haven Cafe. My Haven Cafe was formed on July 6, 2020 with a name from Deutsch means hope. It's come from owner hobby and love for the coffee, with the owner name of My Haven Cafe is Mr. Irsyad. This cafe located at Jalan Burung Gereja number 3, Arjowinangun, Kecamatan Kedung Gangdang, Kota Malang. The methodology of the research are: the research design is using descriptive, non-experimental, with a qualitative research as the research approach. The data sources came from primary and secondary data using documentary, study literature, observative, and interview as a data collection. About the data analysis, this research using environmental analysis technique SWOT analysis. To obtain valid, reliable, and objective data, this research was conducted using valid and reliable instrument tested for validity and reliability. This research used triangulation, when the triangulation is qualitative cross-validation. It assessed the sufficiency of the data according to the convergence of multiple data sources or multiple data collection procedure, divided by source triangulation, triangulation technique, and time triangulation. For the analysis, the discussion divided into logistic management in My Haven Cafe stock procurement, functional of the logistic management in My Haven Cafe stock procurement, and SWOT analysis of the logistic management function in My Haven Cafe stock procurement, with the result as follows. First, logistic management in My Haven Cafe stock procurement is divided by 2. First, online procurement flow. Based on the various menu in My Haven Cafe from the coffee, tea, mocktails, and milkshake, of course, the ingredient that necessary is also various. The result of this online procurement flow: first, commonly the ingredient that My Haven Cafe bought from the store is all of them except the coffee. Second, the procurement for this ingredient stock being bought every once a month, with the amount depend on the existing stock. Besides, from the online procurement flow, it also happened from the original farmer. The original farmer divided from the dumped farmer, when the beans that been used is original from the dumped farmer using local beans that help My Haven Cafe reduce the cost production. Moreover, the quality of the bean is also good. With the result, every week My Haven Cafe need at least 4 kg of the coffee bean, and the usual agenda of the stock procurement happen once a week every Thursday. From the Tawangmangu market, The other option for this step for doing procurement also can be fulfilled from the traditional market in Tawangmangu. The procurement flow happens when the coffee beans are out of stock in a sudden. Then my Haven Coffee owner goes to Tawangmangu market for doing stock procurement. This activity didn't have exact scheduled time. It depends on the amount of the existing stock for this procurement. The owner bought at least 1 kilogram of beans. Now we are going to analyze the result of logistic management function in my Haven Coffee stock procurement using SWOT. Strength is about the unique point. Weakness is about the area that need to improve and lack sources. Opportunity is about what opportunities my Haven Cafe take advantage based on their strength. And the threat. What threat do my Haven Cafe weakness expose on their logistic management stock procurement? And this is for the result. First, the planning and meeting needs function. The strength, my Haven Cafe have a specific supplier for fulfilling their need. But it also brings the weakness when the supplier is out of stock. And the opportunity, my Haven Cafe still have an option for fulfilling their procurement need with another sources like from the original market or the original farmer. And the threat is when the supplier is out of stock, it will be impact the amount of stock that my Haven Cafe needed in the source. For the budgeting function, my Haven Cafe already do the comparative supplier before deciding the good one. But the weakness is about the financial condition of my Haven Cafe after the pandemic. The condition of the rupiah in Indonesia is unstable because the price of some goods can be either low or high. It can be the opportunity and the threat for my Haven Cafe budgeting system. For the procurement function, my Haven Cafe have a special relation with the supplier, especially with the online supplier. But the weaknesses is the availability of the stock. Because of my Haven Cafe already trust their online supplier, it could bring the negative impact to the cafe too. To deceive the budget in procuring, my Haven Cafe changed the fresh fruit from the menu with the simple syrup. But the threat, somehow the stock from the supplier is not as you want. As example, the quality of beans or the expiry date are close. For the storage function, my Haven Cafe never missed the procurement, so the stock availability in the storage is safe. But my Haven Cafe didn't have a specific place as their storage room. So the opportunity of the storage sectors came from the possibility of my Haven Cafe expansion, so it could bring their own storage room. Because if there is no specific storage room in the kitchen, the possibility of the ingredient quality change increase. For the maintenance sectors, my Haven Cafe included loyal customers, which is they also do a same supplier for stock procurement. That's why the relation between the owner with the supplier is also good mutual. But because my Haven Cafe have an online suppliers, when the trouble of the internet happen, it also can easily impact for the procurement flow in my Haven Cafe. To fix this problem of online suppliers, my Haven Cafe have a specific trick to change the online supplier into the offline supplier, as the example to the nearest market as the optional. And the threat can be occur from the maintenance sectors. For the last function about the eliminating, with the eliminating function, the quality of the product that distribute to the customer is guaranteed, but it will also decrease the amount of the stock. Hopefully, with the eliminating function, the goods that already rotten didn't spread to the good ones. With the stock is limited, eliminating function can increase the possibility of the stock deficiency. To make this data verify, I use validity test using triangulation. With the triangulation of sources, I use to Dr. Andes Roni Rosdianto MM, Muhammad Ramdhani SS, PDMPD, and also Insinyur Priska Wulandari STMT. With the result, the implementation of logistic management function in my Haven Cafe stock procurement increased the quality of planning, storage, and maintenance of stock. For the triangulation of the data, I use interview, observation, and documentation with a different time for the triangulation of time. And the conclusion about this analysis, first, the planning and meeting need help the owner to do budgeting plan in doing procurement of out-of-stock goods. Second, the budgeting function is useful for assisting the owner in equating cost and income. Third, the procurement function assists the owner in maintaining the availability of goods. And fourth, the storage function helps the owner understand the amount of the stock. And the fifth, maintenance function can be divided into maintain the relation and maintain the quality of the stock. And number 6, the eliminating function helps the owner to maintain the quality of goods, which is rotten goods being separate with a good one. And that's all my presentation. Thank you.